What's up, YouTube? Back with another video here. And in today's video, I want to talk to you folks about plant maintenance, or my take on plant maintenance. So, people say CO2, lights, and fertilizers are the three most important things into growing plants, and I'm not going to disagree with that. I do think that all three of those are very, very important into growing plants. But plant maintenance is just as important to me, and this is kind of my look on how I maintain my plants, and basically how I trim my plants, and why I think it's important to trim and maintain your plants. So, for my first example, I am gonna use this plant right here. I'm gonna scoot in. Excuse me. Okay, so this plant right in here, right in front of us, is Anubias. Maybe Nana, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure on what variation it is. Sometimes they kind of just look the same to me, which is kind of horrible. I should know. But anyways, but basically you'll see this group of plants right here is really dense, very lush, which is awesome because I think that's a great look to have. And it looks cool. But what you also notice is a lot of these plants are overlapping each other. Now, that's one of the points I want to address is plants that, grow in dense groups like this. They will overlap each other, and, that's just what happens. And the leaves underneath will actually get less light than the leaves above. Now, strategically thinking, you want to look at this group of plants, and you want to think to yourself, do I want that plant underneath to get more light or less light? If you don't really care for the plant underneath, then you may want to trim. You may want to trim the smaller leaves. So if they're going to decay away anyways, might as well use that nutrients to route that energy to promote growth, to find more accessible light. Or if you really like the plant underneath, you might want to look for a large leaf that is causing, or that is covering a lot of light from the plants below. Excuse me. So definitely, you want to look at your plants that are overlapping each other. You want to remove the leaves that you see fit. In my case, I would probably just remove the leaves that are a little bit below. That way, it would promote more growth to the stalk, to find more accessible lights. That's just my opinion. Some people will do that reverse. For another example, let's kind of find a different plant, so you're not staring just at the Nubias. Let's do this Java fern right here. Scoot in some more. So this Java fern, you'll see some damaged leaves right here. Damaged leaves are kind of, for me at least, I just remove them. Now, this is not damaged enough to the point where I'll remove, but damaged leaves could say a few things. You could have a deficiency in your plants, or maybe one of your fish, like I know I have a Chinese algae eater, which is a little bit rough on the plant, so it could be that. But or the plant leaf could just be dying off. For me, I just kind of remove dying plant leaves. There's some plants that can slowly regenerate and try to repair that leaf. In my opinion, it's just not worth it, because it might just be more efficient to remove that full leaf itself, get rid of that ugly look, and that plant could actually utilize the energy elsewhere more efficiently to make a new leaf, or like I said, grow its stalk or grow larger, basically. So you want to look around, you want to look at leaves that are damaged, and in my case, I just remove damaged leaves so it can promote growth elsewhere. Let's pan out. And there's a third thing I wanted to address, which would be maintaining carpeting plants, and why it's important to maintain carpeting plants. But I had to find a good example, which may be in the next tank. So I'm going to bounce over. This is going to be my bottom right 40, excuse me. And we're going to actually talk about the left plant, which is the pink plant. This is a AR Mini. Now, AR Mini isn't really a carpeting plant. I wouldn't consider it a carpeting plant, but it does have a very shallow root structure. And what I mean by shallow root structure is, you can scoot in just a tad bit more, excuse me. If you'll see those small root structures, they'll actually get it intertwined with one another. And the root will actually not grow or not reach really deep into the substrate. So that's what I mean by a shallow root structure. Now, how will this affect your plant? Well, for example, if I were to let this grow out and it had a very shallow root structure, let's just say, just because I have a really strong power head in here, if one of excuse me, if one of these plants were to be uprooted, eventually this whole carpet, quote unquote carpet, will uproot itself. Now, if anyone has experience with this and carpeting is kind of flying out because of a shallow root structure, then it's pretty bad, because all this debris will be kicked up from all the sediment that caught in between the carpet, and it's just a pain in the butt trying to replant this carpet, because I've tried replanting a full carpet and it just doesn't work. You have to tear the carpet apart and kind of just start over, which is kind of unfortunate because carpets are sometimes hard to grow, and it's kind of unfortunate to see all your work just down the drain. So definitely need to stay on top of maintenance on carpeting plants. You'll want to kind of trim it down so it's less dense, and so the current won't pick it up and kind of take it away. Another thing is, I don't really have this problem in my system, but if you have a tank set up without containers like myself, you may find that some plants have runners. Now, runners are plants that, let's Jungle Val or Crips will actually send out runners, and to find they're kind of like the scouts. They'll send out like a scout, and it'll scout out the area, and if it's suitable, and it'll just grow there. And it's cool. It's like they're spreading out throughout the aquarium, but it can be a little bit annoying, because if you have an aquascape and you only want this certain plant to grow there, it'll actually send out a runner across the tank, and that may be a situation where you'll need to prune your plants and cut out that runner, because sometimes it kind of ruins the chi of the aquascape. But if not, then you want that runner to go live wherever it lives, then more power to you. But I'm just saying setting some examples, or not setting, giving some examples in some cases where you would need to maintain and prune your plants, or maintain your plants and cut your leaves. So let's rewind and sum it up. What I think is good grounds on maintaining and pruning your plants. One would be if too many plants are overlapping each other, and a little plant underneath isn't getting enough sunlight, or vice versa. You would want to make a decision, make a decision on what plant you want to get more sunlight, so you trim that. Damaged leaves, I would definitely remove damaged leaves, so the plant can actually utilize that nutrients somewhere else, that energy somewhere else, versus repairing damaged leaves. Carpeting plants, definitely maintaining carpeting plants so they don't get too dense and fly away once they pick up the current, which is unfortunate. And lastly, runner plants that you if you don't have a setup like mine, if they kind of just send a runner across the tank, kind of ruins the chi of the aquascape, or such like that. So that's basically it. I may have missed some points, but if you guys have any other points that you'd like to point out, or other methods of trimming plants, please let me know down in the comments. Please like, rate, subscribe. It would actually help me out a lot. And I hope you found this video useful. And thanks for viewing, and I'll see you folks. Whoa, anyone see that turtle? Or no, not that turtle, that snail. See that guy? Just kind of went flying. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you folks next time. Bye.